So, AMC and GME had a pretty good week. GME had a good day today. Honestly, it looked like it wanted to run, and they just shot it down at 142, but it came right back. And right at market close, there was 220,000 in volume, so that's awesome. AMC's on a consistent uptrend since 990, which is really good. That was back on back in May. Consistent higher lows, and we're working on higher highs now, so that's outstanding. What's up, Swing?
So it's, it's like basically fighting as hard as they could on GME, leveraging XRT against GME. It was very interesting to see the volume candles between the two. I'm more and more convinced that it's all all comes down to these ETFs and the infinite liquidity that they provide, basically, to be able to keep these stocks down.
Yeah, absolutely. This new single stock short ETF, the inverse ETFs on a single stock. I mean, I just don't know how much more criminal they could possibly trying to do that. But uh, interestingly enough, too, Voyager Digital, which obviously everybody knows are going bankrupt, they had a short squeeze. They went from $1.90 to like $11, and then that was based on their VGX crypto. Went from like a dollar, went from like I think 10 cents to $1.10. So it's just crazy what's going on in the market.
Someone needed some liquidity to get out, so they didn't blow up something else, and so they let it squeeze, probably. you know and then they were ready to short it on the way back down on the other side.
Oh, it's nuts, man. I'm sitting here and everybody's wondering why I'm watching Revlon so close. I think they're using Revlon to see what's going to happen when these other plays kick. I mean, they've just got it to the max. It's 105% short interest. It's I think 1.75 on days to cover, 800 min cost to borrow, and the FTDs went through the roof at the other half of January. So it's this whole thing has to blow up pretty soon. I mean, they've over shorted the entire market, and not in a good way. So Bloodbath and Beyond did pretty good today too. Ended up, let's see here. It was up. It hit $5.05 today, and then it kind of trickled and consolidated and came back up. But I don't know.
Did it close over 5 today, or
it closed at 496. That max pay.
Well, the reason why there was a crap ton of $5 puts that were for the end of this month, so it'd be interesting to see if they ended up in the money, and they were. Unfortunately, if they ended up at 501, I think next week would be kind of probably pretty crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of calls on AMC. I don't know what's going on. Why all these calls are being bought out of the money on AMC and GME. I do not believe it's actually retail doing it. I think hedge funds are doing something where they're buying extremely like far out of the money calls. I don't know if it's just to transfer money around to each other. Like, like say this one hedge fund is betting maximum on the downside and the other one's betting maximum on the upside, but they're really just transferring money between each other. It's crazy what's going on. I don't even know what to call it anymore. The GameStop NFT marketplace is doing
It's
pretty
called-
good though now.
It's called crime. Call it.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Words for it, according to
Yeah, I know. I mean, the numbers. I haven't looked at the numbers today, but like within the first 24 hours, the NFT marketplace and GameStop had done more business than Coinbase's NFT marketplace since May.
wow.
So, yeah, and it's just there seems to be sustained. I was expecting 48-hour drop off, and it didn't seem to do that last I looked. So it seems like there's still a bunch of activity. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I know to a certain extent. I haven't looked at the wallets. I know that a lot of the creators have taken some of their money and put it back to help support other creators and things like that. So
That's
there
cool.
is some kind of internal workings there where the money's just kind of flowing through the marketplace. But at the same time, I mean, there's definitely outside interest too. Just to see the number of GameStop. It's super easy to set up if anybody hasn't done it. And right now, if you're in a state that ramp is a viable state or country where they're doing free the ETH buys, not doing any markups on to set up. So now is a good time to take advantage.
That's actually a pretty good deal. Not having any cost for that. That's crazy. I really hope AMC decides to just go ahead and start using stock marketplace for some of their NFTs. I know they've already got a thing going with Wax, but it just seemed like the whole AMC GameStop, talk between each other is kind of stalled out.
I think there's a lot of make sense applications, especially for any of these NFTs, these that games behind. Since there's so many crossover / games, be able to have an NFT that maybe you can even use that character game or as a power up game or case might be.
Yeah, that's definitely needed, and I think it would be cool too if they got to the point now where you could resell your digital games you bought in the form of an NFT. I think that would be really cool if they could set that up.
Should already
Oh,
so that you can A-level games yet, because these are kind of individual programmers and creators, but there are some games that you can buy to markets, and that got tired of it. Set up for
yeah. You know what's crazy about the talking about games? Nintendo is acquiring an animation studio that'll become Nintendo Pictures pretty soon. I've been talking about for a long time about them making like Legend of Zelda movies and content. Is the Castlevania series on Netflix was extremely successful. So I'm super excited about this because if Nintendo can get with a good company production studio, like they want to talk about making stuff like Death Standing, Metroid Other M, Zelda, even Detective Pikachu was a good game or a good movie. They can start making good content. That's going to really bring a crowd to the theater. Actually, like movie quality Nintendo content. Get that going on. Hey, if everybody could tweet out the call again too, I'd appreciate it so everybody can see. Well, everybody knows about inflation. Inflation's horrible, 9.1%. Now there's talk of 100% or 100 basis point rate hike on the next meeting. That's not good. Seem to be continuously underestimating the problem here. I think they're doing it on purpose, though. I think they know they need to crash the economy to get everybody back to work because our production right now is absolute garbage. We're not producing. Housing's taking a tumble. See all the layoffs coming from the lenders. They're laying off people left and right. Interest rates are going up. People are backing out of their home sales because they're not getting what they want. People are backing out of buying because it's too expensive. But in that, there's a big opportunity coming up. If you're looking for a home, the next 12 months, when this thing settles out and we find a housing bottom, you're going to be able to jump in and buy a home for an absolute killer price or start a build. So it's not necessarily bad for everybody. It sucks for some, but SEC is a complete failure. I'm not sure how much I'm going to go into that. They're a complete joke. Every single time there's any type of new regulation coming out for market structure or market fairness or exposure, it gets shot down by Hester Pierce. Or if it does pass, it just goes in the comments period for months and months and months and nothing gets done. So basically, the GameStop report from Congress got put out to the general public. They saw that nobody cared enough to do anything, and it's just a thing of the past now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, these leverage single ticker ETFs just seem absolutely because I don't see how they protect or benefit retail at all. The reason to have them would be to help potentially shorts to be able to get out shorts easier in my mind. That's what makes the most sense to me.
It gives them more liquidity to put more short pressure on the play. So if they get into a point where they have retail jumping in and FOMOing in, they've got another avenue to short the stock. It's so freaking ridiculous. It's really what's happening right now is everyone is trying to see how much they can actually get away with before this all just comes tumbling down. That's all it is. It's pretty disgusting. But I mean, we are sitting really good for the companies. The fundamentals are all there. It's absolutely. Yeah, AMC had one of the best Julys they've had in years. Best Q2s. GameStop Marketplace popping. It's just all good stuff all around. So it's really hard to be short in these companies right now with cost of borrow going up and the short interest, either staying the same or increasing. Not to mention with them expanding out into these other companies like AMC into Highcroft. VP they just hired into Highcroft is a top-notch guy, man. I looked at his background. This guy's been in the industry for over 25 years, been part of some very successful mining companies like Eric. So, Adam Aaron coming out and tweeting about the investment, and Diane coming and tweeting about it again on his back. CEOs can't do that unless what they're saying is true, because then they're misleading investors, and that's antitrust. So I definitely have a pretty sizable position in Highcroft, and scooped a bunch of shares up right around 95 cents. So, I mean, we can go into the rabbit hole and go about all the theories about lithium and all that, but I mean, they're literally putting out NFTs with dual joint names on it. They're getting ready to do something big, and I'm pretty excited for it. Not to mention, when AMC comes out with the retail popcorn and grocery stores and the branded credit card, I firmly, very much believe there's going to be a 30% revenue increase year over year. Let's see. If you guys want to come up and talk, it's just market chat, just market close, seeing what everybody's feeling. Let's go to the chat and see. Ian O'Sullivan, long time no talk. Entered Zen mode. I've been holding and not following the movement for a while. Hey man, I think a lot of people were taking breaks. We're in our next round of FUD and clout chasing with some people in the community. It's just gonna take time to pass. This is the third or fourth time it's happened. Brandon loaded the boat on HYMC at 90 cents. Not bad. Everybody knows about the AMC failure to deliver GME. The failure to delivers are catching my attention more and more, not because they're going up again. Like on the 28th of June, there was 9 million failure to 9.5 million failure to on AMC at $137 million. I mean, just as a basis on the market, to come out and say these are some of the best markets we've had as a regulator, and then you come in and see that somebody can withhold 9.5 million shares for 35 days is absolutely ignorant. It's so fixed. The funny thing is no matter how much they cheat, retail keeps buying more and more. So we're buying up the market in the dip. And when this thing starts recovering, they are going to be so effed. All their extremely over leveraged short positions they can't get out of, they're going to start crumbling. I mean, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing all these hedge funds go out of business and whatnot, but it's just crazy what's going on here. And I'm wondering what they're doing with these failure to delivers, because it doesn't seem like they're covering them on the open market. It's more like they're just selling them off in like some type of swap or something, because we're not seeing the activity on the market that we should from these being covered. Bitcoin's actually making a comeback back up to 21,000. Wonder if Jim Cramer's Bitcoin to 12,000 prediction is going to come true. I wrote it down on my chart. Let's see what that was. Cramer on January 16th through the 15th says Bitcoin's going to 12K, and since then it's done nothing but start to recover. That's kind of fun. Obviously, I'm not going to go all through the Max Payne stuff. Everybody can see that we pretty much hit Max Payne this Friday, which is really crazy. There was a ton of call options open on Gamestop, AMC, Revlon, all the short squeeze plays. I'm starting to wonder if it's not retail and it's just hedge funds and they're just continuously rolling. Just looking for that big payout, trying to go net neutral. What's up, Omni?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just
I'm surprised we ended over 15 today.
yeah.
Something's changing.
Yeah, they literally there's not they can't short it anymore. They lost all the ability to short the shares they had in the IWM. And I mean the company, you know, if we go positive in Q2 and we got these new revenue streams popping up, there's just no logical legal reason to come out and say you're shorting this thing. From 970 for the past, let's see, from May to today, we've had nothing but a consistent higher low, perfect uptrend on the chart. So I do see possibly a little bit of downside coming, maybe back into like the 1430 range, but that's just the next higher low bounce. And I think we're going to start going after 16 in the next couple weeks. Right in line with Q coming up too. So
Well, actually, next week is when the game starts to split, right? It's the 18th to the 22nd.
That's when I'm going to get on my new share. Excited about
almost
that.
at 20K on HYMC.
What's that? You said 20K on HYMC?
Almost.
Ooh,
Almost.
wow. I'm telling you, Hycroft's going to slap, man. At the end of the year, they're going to come out. They're going to be like, hey, we're ready to start mining again. We've got all our assays back. The mill technical studies up and running. Box processing's up and running. I think they know there is a massive mineralization deeper underground, probably by the Rosebud area. And they're getting ready to just dig underground, man. They're going to pull up some massive mineralization deposit.
Even if they don't, I mean, it seems like just the way future is going. Naturally, that's going to be a huge resource for the U.S. So it's kind of been sitting right around that dollar mark for a bit since like about the last month or so.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's under $1.10.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind. Listen, I like when it's $1. I can just pick up shares and it's a nice, flat, easy number. I can grab the point.
Yeah. It's crazy. Sometimes when I'm hosting a call, everybody sounds quieter, but when I'm listening to a call, it's a lot louder. Really weird.
Maybe it's two-way audio. When you're listening and playing, it just tones it down. It's quiet today. Where's everyone?
There was a ton of people hosting calls at they were hosting calls from like 10 to 2 o'clock, man. The other calls are good or whatever, but I took a break and I think we just needed to step back because it's good to come in and talk catalysts and talk technicals and stuff for a little bit, but the constant consistent echo chamber calls are not good. I just don't dig them. It gets people going on the wrong stuff. It gets people hyped up on conspiracy. There's a lot of people talking about failure to delivers right now that have no clue what they're talking about. And everybody's got to learn. I get it, but we're going to start hosting. I'm definitely going to start hosting more market open, market close calls as consistently as I can. I think Tara said she was getting interested in starting it. So,
you know what we really need to do, to be honest with you? Like, I think it sounds kind of tacky, but we need like a market book club, just like everyone throughout the week reading 1 or 2 books and then talking about it, so everyone gets the same knowledge or gets up to date on stuff, as opposed to just listening to everything, so people have some kind of resource that they can, they just need to be educated. That's why I think having you out there is good, because they pick up stuff, hearing it over and over. A lot of these people are not reading. It's like a picture book.
oh, I know that for sure that people are not reading stuff. That's talking about that a couple of weeks ago where I said, we got to start being apes evolved, not just apes. We need people to understand as a community, like direct registration. There's still people out there, especially some prominent YouTubers that are fudding direct registration. And my only argument to them now is, so what you're saying is the entire GameStop community is wrong? And then just let GameStop people just eat them alive, man. Because I think a lot of the tubers and stuff who don't want people DRSing or spreading FUD are doing it because they don't want this thing to end. We register the float. If retail registers the float, this thing is over. I mean, Adam Aaron even said in the 2022 annual, said, we've been in contact with the NYSE about failure to delivers, and we plan to do so again in the future. They are tracking that there are synthetics. Adam Aaron said, we don't have any reliable information on synthetic shares. That means he doesn't have anything he can use as legal proof. And computer share is the fastest way to get it.
Yeah, I think, and this is I think the scary thing is, I always go back to the fact that we can't coordinate, but the fact that between HYMC, GME, and AMC, no matter what, they know that if one of them runs, the community is so small. Like, if one runs, you throw into the next one.
Yeah.
If that one runs, throw into the next one, and it's over for them. And I think they're kind of like, almost like they either can't let it run, or they know that all three are going to hit at once. But if they spread us out amongst a bunch of different stuff, people just can't coordinate enough. They can't stay focused.
Oh, they if one runs, the rest are going for sure. I think the basket theory is correct, 100% correct. So.
Yeah, but it's not even about, I don't even know it's the fact that they're shorting it. I just think that they know that the pressure, the way that AMC is moving, if it drops down, people keep accumulating. So if you're accumulating at that low price and it hits 15, you're already up. But then all of a sudden, you run really high, you make like 10, 20,000 on AMC, you buy 10, 20,000 shares on HYMC and sit on that, and they're like, geez, what the fuck? We're in another shit show, So I see why they're fighting. They just can't win.
Well, see, they don't make money unless they win on their plays. Most of us are still going to work and doing other side gigs, so we come back to the table with more dry powder every month. So that's impossible to beat. And in a matter of time, it's going to be so egregious that there's so many synthetic shares out there because retail keeps buying and buying and buying. There's just going to be no way to settle this. I really think they're trying to blow the entire market up. Because we're not leaving. That's a for sure thing. We're definitely not.
Yeah, and I think they need to realize, like, I think their lifestyle requires them to make a substantial amount of money a month to pay their expenses. We're like, just like, it's the ramen noodle thing. It's like, listen, I'm good, $10, $20 a day to eat, train, work out, whatever I got to do. And then, but it keeps adding up. And now we're saving even more, budgeting, and we're getting, financially more sound. It's over. I mean, I'll be honest, when this runs, I don't think they can manipulate the markets. We'll have so much funds in terms of the retail community will just be a force to be reckoned with, which is what they just can't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of retail got hired by hedge funds.
I wouldn't be surprised either, and I'll tell you what's coming up. They're terrified we're going to leave these plays. And in my opinion, there's two scenarios. They want us out so that the pressure's off, or they want us to stay in so we don't go buy up the rest of the market, which is going to happen anyways. When this crashes and everything drops significantly, if it has more downside, I think it's got another 20%, not necessarily on AMC, but the rest of the market, you're going to see a massive retail jump in and start buying all these stocks up. If they buy them up at bottom, that makes it even worse on these hedge funds who took a 40% downside. And the more and more that retail is investing and winning in this play, in all the plays, the more people are realizing these investment firms are not necessary.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're in a pickle, man. I mean, even right now, it's kind of weird. Like, normally people would train to, the price is going up, they jump in. But as soon as the price drops, that's where most of us are, like, jumping on those prices. And they're thinking of the opposite. They're like, most people are supposed to, panic and sell. It's dropping. But we're, like, just sitting and purchasing, buying and holding. That's it.
Yep. I mean, at this point, like with my revenue, I pay my bills, and then the rest goes into my buying stocks. And I've realized it's just time to just buy. I'm buying everything I can all the way through the dip. I don't care about my P&L. I don't care what it says on my charts. When I'm comfortable and I see a good dip opportunity, I'm buying everything I can in the plays I'm in, and I'm going to wait another year or two until this market recovers. Yeah. And either way, with or without MOAS, I'm going to make out like a bandit. Chances are, in between, at some point in time, though, we're going to see some pretty massive short squeezes on these stocks. So.
It's funny, just in terms of the net value of my account, it's never grown so much since this play has been in there. It's focused my energies just to put the money in like 3 solid. And I have other small plays that I do, like investment companies that I really, really enjoy, but these ones have helped build the account just with that focus, I would like to get a response from someone, I don't care, anyone to say, yeah, we're aware of it, or yeah, we acknowledge it, or yeah, there's some issues. Just something small. Even in the media, I like CD Payne, I have a love-hate relationship with him, but, I like the fact that he says stuff, but I think he should bring more, more attention to it. Even Jon Stewart, Trevor, any of these guys who have the, that reach, because the more we talk about it, like these guys are going under. We just need more reach on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. Everybody knows, just to clear everybody's minds, the SEC, FINRA, the Congress, the president, everybody knows exactly what's going on right now. Don't think that they don't know it's happening. Mm-hmm. The issue is nobody wants to touch it because it's a powder keg. The first person to go after these corrupt market makers and these brokers are going to set off a chain reaction and collapse the economy. And they're going to be the ones to blame. So what's going on right now is it's like all the thieves meeting up at the getaway car, and there's not enough seats to get away. They're going to end up cannibalizing each other. You're going to see banks go insolvent. You're going to see brokers close down. It's going to be absolutely. So don't sit and think that nobody knows or nobody sees what's going on. They do. They're just trying to play it out without being the one to set the powder keg. So.
No, I definitely know, the pushers pull right and left on. I know they all see and they all have issues. They're all, it just seems like, every once in a while, like you feel like there's someone out there. Like I would expect Jon Stewart to talk about it more, but it's like he's going on to other things. And he does great things for veterans and military. And, I don't want him to stop doing that, but I want him to bring a light to a lot of these issues. Any of these, public figures who can, educate the public. Who they're looking for a laugh, but at the same time they're getting some truth behind it and some information. I want them to talk about it, weekly or regularly. Even, Charles Payne talks about it in that area, but I want him to grind on these things a little bit more. Like it should be, the 5 minutes at the beginning or end of their show saying, hey, look, we're still looking at this. We're still waiting. I mean, Gary Gensler not going on his show is just ridiculous. Or MSNBC, there's a few of them who'll say stuff, but it's kind of like a quick in passing. You get a glimpse of it every once in a while, and then it's like, all right, let's move on to the next thing,
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane what's going on.
That's too bad.
What's up, Sugar?
Hey, man, long time no see. Where you been hiding, man?
Taking a break. I had the kid all week, so we were just having fun and chilling,
Hey, that's good, man. You gotta always spend time with your family too,
Yep. How you
So
doing?
sure.
Taking a break.
Man.
I
Just
had
missed the calls, I missed. You gotta always spend time with your family too,
Yep.
What's up, Sugar?
How you doing?
Nothing, man. Just missed the calls, I missed Froggy's calls too, and whatever happened was really sad, But
Well, he got again, like I said earlier. This is the third time it's happened in the past, I don't know, 13 months. It's the same stuff. There's new people in the community. There's more clout chasing. People coming out of the woodworks, attacking each other, saying silly shit. I don't even care. Froggy, of course, it hits you hard because Froggy's a good guy. He's just in the community trying to put the truth out there and whatnot. But it's frustrating, man, when you're getting attacked online. It bleeds into your personal life at home, and it just sucks. It makes you feel grimy. It makes you feel gross. Makes you feel bad. You don't want to take that home to your family life. Now, I don't give a shit, bro.
yeah,
I fought in Iraq. You think I'm scared of these clowns online? I don't give two craps about these people online attacking me. They ain't nothing.
Spence, what they did is not right, and they did what they did to me. When I started going, but I stopped going. But Froggy was he's a very good guy, and there were so many people send me, ask me like, hey, what happened? Why is he not doing the calls? And when they read that tweet too, and they were like, well, why is this happening? And it's the same people, those who say we are for the community, and now they got people going, we all went there, I'm not afraid to say that, but you know what, remember when 6 months ago he came to our call, the one guy, he came to our call from Ape Radio when they were starting the Ape Radio, and he apologized in front of everyone because they said something to Tara in the past, and Tara blocked them, and he came and apologized in our when we used to have calls, and we all thought, like it's cool, let's bring everybody together, and everyone from here in our group, we used to go there, we used to support them, and they had 10-12 people, right?
Well, people have a bad way of letting their heads get too inflated once they have decent sized shows. Like I quit doing some of my stuff because I wanted other people to have an opportunity to build their space calls up and go out in the community and spread the word. But instead, everybody wants to host their own space call, and then they want to talk about other people's space calls and saying, I always, at the end of mine, I say, hey, there's another call open. Why don't you guys go over to this call too and support the rest of the community? It's just childish, man. It's, I talked to Froggy the other day, and he gave me the rundown, and I told him, I said, I don't think you should quit. I think you should keep going. And I think a lot of people really like his after hours market chat. He brings
100%.
he brings good TA to the table, calm and collected TA without any hopium in it. So I really enjoyed going to his calls.
I will let Diva talk, but just let me finish what I have to say, because it's been bothering me for all, since I heard when I talked to him a little bit, and people say, we are for the community, our character is this and that. But sooner or later, your real character shows up. When you go behind in the DMs asking people to unfollow somebody, block somebody, don't go in their calls, that's not who we all are here for. I never said that when Ape Radio people, the one guy, he had somebody unfollow me. I never went to their call again because I always treated them like my friends. Starting friend, they had 10, 12 people. But I never told except Jen and Tara, and I think I told you. But I never stopped you, Jen or Tara or anybody to go in their call. I said, you do, but I will not go because I'm very hurt. But until now, I have never told anybody. Now they're doing, they did the same thing to you. They were telling people, oh, Spence is this, the same Spence who they needed when they needed the people in their group. Remember one day I even told you that, Spence, be careful. You I still have your DM. You said, no, I want these people to grow. Like, that's how good of a guy you were to, even go. Like, you said, no, Sugar, I want to help these people to grow and flourish. I want to see their call grow. And now they are talking to Froggy to not let you there because, Spence is this, Spence is that. The same Spence when they needed was good. Now the same Spence became bad. But this is the thing. These people are doing this in the DMs and community doesn't know. But community needs to know that these are the same people are doing the same shit today to Froggy that they did to to me, to
Well, it's the same group of people from over 6 months ago that were running with David versus Goliath. I unblocked them all at the request of a couple people, tried to make friends, and then they literally tried to do cancel Spence a couple weeks ago. I don't even care. For me personally, Sugar, I don't even care. I'm used to it. I always get attacked because I come out with the truth about things like direct registration, computer share, the failures to delivers, and the catalyst. And some people don't like it because it ruins their grift, man. Me, but whatever they say, you can come back to my Twitter feed, you can come back to my recorded video. Yes.
they're taking good away, they're taking it away from people those who used to look to Froggy's calls. There were almost 200, 250 people, and people were really enjoying his calls too. You used to be there, everybody, he had good, education, information, no drama, nothing. And maybe they just didn't can stand it that somebody else can have people in their call. They're taking that away from this community, all because they're selfish reasons.
Well,
That's
they'll it'll all work itself out, Sugar. It'll work itself out. It'll bad apples always fall off the tree. You know,
man.
when you say the choice is yours, but then you tell people who to follow, it's whatever. I wish them the best of luck. I hope they have a great whatever they do. I think personally, I just took a little break because I had my kid with me. We've been doing these space calls and all this stuff since how many months ago now?
Yep.
And people just want to make a name, man. The fastest way to make a name for yourself is to go after somebody who has the attention on them. So
I'll let Diva speak, man. But I am really hurtful with all this thing. We need we are here to make money, to grow, learn, and get out of this. Some people, like, they just don't want this thing to end because God forbid if this thing goes somewhere, what are they gonna do with the calls? It's just it's
that's where Froggy has, when this is over, Froggy will keep going because he does a full market breakdown. These other folks, they just literally they echo chamber AMC stuff every day, and a lot of it's not even correct. So
and
it'll all work out, man.
People in this call, I can I never ask anybody anything, but you guys need to please send Froggy a DM or whatever. Let him know that we don't want him to cancel. We don't. This is the time when our community stands for each other, and when other people want to cancel people, because they don't like it, we should stand up for those people. And I know Froggy is hurt, And we should stand up and send him a DM, like, hey, man, it'll be good, come back, because this is really wrong, man. When you go out and tell people, the cancel culture is what we are fighting, in our country, and we are doing the same thing in our community. This is wrong. This is just wrong.
What's up, Diva? How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Praise the Lord, everyone. I'm going to speak, but I'm not going to say no names. But you already know, Spence, because, yeah, you already know. In Sugar Kush, you already know, because you already know. We've been speaking. But as far as Froggy goes, just hold tight, just hold tight. But that's all I can say for right now. But Spence, you know. But as far as them people doing Froggy like that, yes, it was wrong. I'm not saying no names, but Spence, you know who I'm talking about, and Sugar, because you know what I'm talking about. Because I don't want nobody to go back and say I said anything, because I don't want nobody coming for me, because I just don't want that. But anyway, they did tell Froggy. No, they try to give Froggy an ultimatum. You choose Spence, or you choose us. And that's even in my DMs. People even say that to me in my DMs. You have a choice. You don't give a choice. Spence is not a paid shield. I don't know where they get this from. He's not even a shield, period. If he was a shield, that would be his business, but he's not a shield or paid shield. That's first thing. Second of all, people did come into Froggy Space Calls. I'm telling you the truth because Froggy's let me see stuff. He let me see what was, because I go, are you sure, Froggy? And he said, hold on. So he'll send me the message. People did go into Froggy Space Calls and did DM him, telling him, get this person out here, get that person out here. They did me the same way. Get this person out here, get that person out here. We wouldn't do it, but this person did come into a call saying that. Also, this person is mad something about DRSing. They're upset about DRSing. So they did tell everyone not to go in Froggy's calls and support him. So that happened all last week. Nobody was really going to Froggy's calls, supporting him like they normally do when you have the bigger crowd. Then everybody started attacking him on Twitter, on YouTube. They just came for him, and he's trying to be how can I put it? He's a father of uh, he's a father of a daughter, and he's the only parent in the household. But he also trying to build his relationships. He don't want to take this negativity into his relationship because it will roll over in that. So he's making a choice. Do he want to continue to do these calls? No, he don't. He said he wants to give up. But I told him if you give up, you're going to give them what they want. You keep pushing, you keep grinding, because if you give up, they're going to win. You're going to let them win.
Yeah.
So if anybody want to know what was going on, I'm telling y'all now, that was going on, and you pick and choose because the choice is yours to believe who you want to believe. That's all I'm gonna say. God bless y'all.
Diva,
Thanks, Diva.
I just want to say something. When they did to me, I stopped going. I didn't tell anybody for months, but it started eating me alive because when you call people your friends, I call Spence my friend. If Spence does something to me that like that, you don't think it'll hurt me, but if they know they can, and people will not speak up. Say it openly. It's the guy from Ape Radio, the one guy. You don't like somebody and sending them and telling them you made them. He literally told him that you need him. Okay, I'm sorry. I used the F word.
Well, here's the deal, guys. This happens every 3 months. There's new Twitter space call holders. You know what people don't realize is it's a Twitter space call. You're not some superstar on TV hosting some interview with Robert Downey Jr. The idea that people came into my call where I had 500 people in a call talking market structure And these guys came into my call and blew it up by cussing out Mark Cojotes or telling me what I can and cannot do. That's called being a gatekeeper. That's called being jealous. They were mad that nobody was in their calls. It's just ridiculous at this point. So this is what I do. If they start talking crap, I say, what's your deal? And if they don't have any logic behind it, I block them and I move on. That's it. I do not take this home to my personal life because I know exactly what they're doing. And it's just like people asking me to unblock folks from 6 months ago that were hosting calls about Tara, calling her every foul name that is available in the English language. And I was like, I'm not dealing with that no more. That's just negative. It's childish and it's bad for the community. And if people can't see that, one, people will eventually see it and learn, or two, if they can't see it, then I don't want them in my calls anyways. So don't let any of what they're doing stress you out at home ever.
Hey Spence, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I don't speak a lot on here. I've been here since 801. I don't need to say much, but in the planet of the apes, right? There's apes that's good and there's apes that's bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we're going to have those people who are bad in our group, right?
Right.
But our job is to weed them out.
True.
In the community, we'll weed them out. I've seen this months after months after months. And the community figures it out and they're like, all right, move along, on to the next thing. So all this other shit, just let it go. Sorry, Diva. All this other stuff, let it go under the bridge.
That's the truth, man. I literally, I might talk offline with people about it or whatever, but I was literally worried about what flavor chicken wings I eat for dinner. You guys, if tweeted and then Vizurant retweeted it. Man, my computer's being retweeted it. Man, my computer's being so slow. Millennials are to blame for sky high inflation, strategist says. Oh, what's up, Swing?
What I was going to say is, I mean, as far as all the research that I think the community has done on market structure and everything, the truth of the matter is what Doug Sifu said a few weeks ago about there being infinite liquidity. To a certain extent, I think that's true. The way the market is currently structured, the market makers can short infinite amount in order to quote unquote provide liquidity. The only way to seek out that truth is through direct registration, and that's why every attempt of seeking that truth trying to get shut down. You know, there's there's no way to argue if enough people showed up with their shares at computer share. There would be no way to argue that there are synthetics, because then everyone else technically has a synthetic share. There'd be no way around it. There'd be no way to say anything otherwise. And that is what they're fearful of, is that they don't want not just the United States, but the world to realize how broken our system is, and the fact that they've set up a system where there's infinite liquidity in any stock, and that these market makers can just do it at a push of a button if they need quote unquote liquidity.
That's absolutely it. I personally believe, after all the DD and all the research I've done and the talking with you, Swing, the only way that we will ever give Adam Aaron what he needs to protect the stock is if we direct register our shares. That's it. Everybody screams.
But you know, that's another thing they came after Froggy for. Remember, and you know, they
Oh, yeah.
said, not say who said it. I'm gonna say who said. Casey Shaw's whole community, and Casey Shaw's community is, you know, it's a decent size. He also got Tony Denaro on his side. It was Casey Shaw. I'm gonna tell it all. It was Casey Shaw, Tony Denaro, somebody named I think his name AMC Biggums or something like that. Him. I mean, there was tons of them came against Froggy for discussing DRSing. They said that DRSing was a scam, and Spence wanted everybody to do that. So everybody, all that whole entire community, I'm talking about all of them, even somebody named Boss Blunt told people don't do that. It's not a good thing to do because he wouldn't do it. So
Well,
all these
they
people
do
came
know
against
that
Froggy.
they are all complete.
All of them came against Froggy. It started with what happened with Casey Shaw when Casey Shaw was in 8 Radio. 8 Radio must have asked Casey Shaw, was DRSing good? Whatever Casey Shaw says, his mouth is a prayer book to 8 Radio. 8 Radio believes everything Casey Shaw says. Casey Shaw got his information from somebody called Sock named Dark or whatever.
Yeah, that dude's so wrong. It's not even funny. Like, it's just.
They all came against Froggy. All of them did. All that whole entire community. I'm telling y'all guys. I'm talking about. Spence know what I'm talking about. Sugar, because you know what I'm talking about. It was because that community's big. You got to think about it. Because Boss Blunt got, they say, like 20-some thousand people. I mean, it was just outrageous. So all of them came against him on that, calling him out. But Froggy called Computer Share and he talked to this. I mean, it's hard for Froggy to come out of this because you got that 8 Radio who got their people telling everybody not to do it. So that's what's happening. There you go.
Yeah, it's very simple, you guys. We've already put out multiple times that Computer Share is not some kind of fraudulent backwater system. It's a global company that is the official transfer agent for AMC. One, you can go to AMC's webpage and you can see right on there that they are the transfer agent for AMC. Two, the GameStop crowd has already defunded all of this twice. Please go into a GameStop room and tell them that DRS is bad. I dare you. I double dog dare you. But three, Adam Aaron came out specifically and said, word for word, we do not have any reliable evidence of synthetic shares, but we are contacting the NYSE about failure to delivers. Failure to delivers come from naked shorting. He's telling you there's naked shorts. Computer Share, all you're doing is you're taking your shares that you bought from your brokerage out of street name and putting them direct registered into book name, and they will show up on every single earnings call and earnings meeting for AMC on their book of shareholders. And I think part of the problem with these people that are flooding direct registration is they don't want their names, they don't want their addresses and stuff on the book at the AMC theaters meetings, if they even have shares. But one, you're not going to go into GameStop and tell the GameStop crowd that they're wrong. That's an entire community of millions of people. You would be a fool to do that. Two, you can literally call Computer Share from the AMC website and ask them any question you have. I don't know how many times. I don't know about Bigums and Denaro and all them guys or whatever's going on there. But anybody that says that Computer Share and direct registration is a fraud is an absolute fool. And I 100% challenge them to come into the room and debate that with me. I will destroy them on the direct registration flood every single time. So, you know,
Comments, all the comments that came to him through YouTube. They said, well, Bigum said don't do this because of that. Bigum said this, or somebody named Boss Blunt said this. Tony Denaro said this. So
yeah, but them guys.
Tony Denaro know that Casey Shaw was wrong, but he's friends with Casey Shaw, but he won't say anything. He won't even investigate the information that Froggy gave him.
That's because they don't want the grift to end. They're making money on YouTube. They don't want the grift to end. If we blow this up, if we direct register the float, Computer Share tells Adam Aaron, hey, your entire float is registered. Then Adam Aaron goes, well, how then is it possible that there's still shares out on the market? And they can go directly to the lawyers and file suit against the DTC, FINRA, the SEC, everybody. They can go after the whole thing. And I'll tell you right now, for the past 16 months, you know what the only thing we haven't done is direct registered the float. Everybody else, all these YouTubers, all these people, they've come up with these theories about what's going to make the stock squeeze, this and that. Bigums thought it was going to be the cat system. That is not happening until 2024. Boss Blunts thought it was going to be 14032. That never happened. I don't even watch any of these guys' videos anymore, man. It's just all hopium for the most part. I mean, they make good content or whatever, but if you're going to come after the one thing that could actually statistically and mathematically prove that there's synthetic shorts out on the market and you're going to flood that for the community, then you're a fool. If you think all these little SEC regulations that are about to pass or have been passed are going to do anything, you're a fool. Lou said that the 13F2 short reporting rule was going to go into effect and expose everybody, and it never did, and it never exposed anybody. They've all been wrong the entire time. The one thing that everybody can do with a minimal amount of effort is direct register 20% of their shares on an individual basis, lock in the float, and we have mathematical evidence that there is naked synthetic shorting happening on AMC and GME. And it's so simple. I've made 5-minute videos, step by step, click by click on how to do it. It's that simple. But people love their YouTubers. They don't like them because they're putting out good information. They like them because they're entertaining. They like them because they give them hopium. So it's just crazy. And I'm going to say, I wish well on all them guys. I hope they're successful, make their money, all this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to sit here and say they're not wrong, because they are. So, and if they want to go after me, they can come after me. I don't care. They want to go after Froggy. I don't know why they would. Froggy didn't do nothing wrong. He just went in, got the facts of the matter. He actually said, well, Spence, before I say you're right, let me go check the facts, which I respect very much. And he did a very good job at it. Come to find out, yes, DRS is a good path. I think it's the only path. So
That's
it's all
exactly
drama,
why
man.
That's why Adam said Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. There you go, right there. I
think so, man. I hate to do the tinfoil hat thing, but he said that, and then they started putting the computer share numbers in the reports showing how many people are direct registered. He's been telling us how many investors are out there this entire time. 4 million investors, 100 shares per person. It's probably 4 million investors with 500 shares per person. 2 million of AMC's retail investors could probably log the float. The funny thing about that is, too, he warned us about people not getting their proxies to vote before the annual meeting. The reason that some people didn't get their proxies is because they hold synthetic shares, or they hold shares that their brokers never really went and acquired. So it's just crazy, man. It's a lot. But I hope Froggy decides to come back and continue. I know it's stressful. I totally understand him. If he does, I'll be right there with him. But I'll try to take over for the time being. So I know I'm not as technical, but it's all good.
No, he said, did y'all play that game yesterday? I'm trying to change the subject because I was going to say something. You and him play the game yesterday? You said something about a game y'all was going to do yesterday. Did y'all play it?
The game?
Some game. He said me and Spence going to play a game or something. I don't know.
Oh, Diablo. Yeah, Diablo Immortal. See, I'd have to join a different server, though, and I'm not trying to start my character all over again. You know what I'm saying? So I got 3 months of effort into that. But yeah, this is the thing with Twitter and social media, and this is what they want. The bad actors, no matter what, if you're one ape on YouTube and you're another, and there's another ape on YouTube and you guys disagree, you don't want to cancel the other person. You want as much attention on AMC as you can possibly get. So when people come in and steal my content consistently, I don't care. When people come in and bash me, I don't care, because I'm like, well, they're going to go talk about AMC anyways, and there's going to be more rooms open. But to be a full-grown adult online, to be especially over 50 years old, and to start talking shit like you're a 12-year-old on an online forum, just grow up, man. It's so lame. We have every major catalyst in the book playing in our favor right now, and people want to start drama and fights again. That should tell you something right there. So either way, we should get back to market chat stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see the comments. What do we got in the comments here? Brandon M. I still think when AA said Dr. Strange 4 times, he was saying in code to DRS, I have DRS 50% of my AMC shares. We have made a major milestone in direct registration in the AMC community, you guys. I have been trying to keep up with all the DMs and comments I've been getting about it, and it's all positive. And what's going to happen, what I see happening in the future, is Adam Aaron is going to come out on one of the earnings calls or the reports, and they're going to announce that we have X many shares DRS with X many investors. And that right there, say we went from 49,000 retail investors DRS and AMC to 250,000. Now we have a investor count and we have a share count. If 250,000 apes somehow manage to DRS 1.5 million shares, that gives you a sample average that is very, very useful in any type of cases or suits going forward. And when people hear that, suddenly the light bulb is going to click and they're going to go, all the haters are going to go, oh man, DRS is the way. And then you'll have a string of YouTubers and people come out trying to claim that they were the ones who came up with DRS and this and that. And I'll clap for them. I'll say, good job, buddy. I'll pat them on the back. I don't care. Because it wasn't even my idea originally. It's old ancient Reddit DD. And for the most part, Swing Trader was the one that got me up to date on it. Because I was even skeptical, 6-7 months ago. So good on Swing Trader Mars. But I'll stick by that comment. I think if individually all the AMC investors decided to direct register the float, this whole thing would be over. I think, as a matter of fact, we would probably see people go to jail because we would have evidence of the synthetic and naked shorting. So let's do some simple math here, though. Let's say, man, it's time to upgrade my computer. That's for sure. 1 million apes. Oh, 250,000. Let's do 1.5 million shares divided by 250,000 apes. Oops. Oh, not 250,000. I'm sorry. 250,000 AMC retail investors, if they all did, let's just say 100 shares, right? Right there, very simply, that's 25 million shares direct registered. Now, anybody in here, when you come up, you don't have to say your shares or anything, but it's very simple to see that most of us have over 500 shares. So it's honestly, it sounds like a big task, but I don't think we need 4 million people to direct register 100 shares. I literally think we probably need 500 to 700,000 people to direct register what they hold, 3, 4, 500 shares or whatever. And Adam Aaron keeps coming out and talking about AMC Investor Connect like it's the most important thing ever. There's over 700,000 Investor Connect members right now signed up. So there's something going on there too. This is all, I mean, we have retail popcorn catalyst in the grocery stores. We have the AMC branded credit card in the coming soon, which I think those two will bring a minimum of a 30% revenue increase year over year. Adam Aaron has multiple side projects going on that he keeps bringing up and talking about, like Investor Connect, 700,000 some members. They're putting the direct registration computer share information in the earnings reports and the annual, and then all the Highcroft mine stuff coming up. It's just crazy, man. I don't know why anybody would be spreading it at this point in time. Why? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm actually buying 100 shares every month with computer share on autopilot. And I'll tell you what, it feels pretty dang good. I like it. I get letters in the mail almost every month with an AMC logo on it from computer share showing my new purchase. So I see PJ down there. I see April down there. I see Paul down there. What's going on, guys? I see Shay and Justin. You guys all turned shy suddenly because we haven't hosted a space call in a little while. I tell you what, you all call me a nerd if you want, because I am a nerd. I cannot wait for the Dragon Ball superhero movie on August 19th. I got the kid at the theater getting the poster for me, so I got to give him $50 for that poster. But I'm gonna go by myself. I'm gonna scream. I didn't hear about that. I'm still waiting for my hammer. Bullshit. What's going on, PJ?
I'm so excited that we're holding some really cool critical levels. And I think that swing, probably you guys can speak to that way better than I can. But I'm really happy with the price action today.
Oh, I'm extremely happy. I mean, technically, from what I'm seeing from July 7th to today, I mean, we're almost in a bull flag type situation. But what I'm really loving is from 970 all the way to today, the price 970. We've had consistent higher lows bouncing off of a trend line. But it's textbook. It's perfect. I don't think they can hold it down anymore. I don't think they have the means or the ability to. So,
do we know what happened with what the outcome was with Ortex and them returning, those millions of shares without corresponding price action? Do we know anything, the outcome of that at all?
I think Ortex tweeted about it, but I didn't remember. Honestly, Ortex, I don't know, man. What's to stop an organization from reporting short interest, or what's to stop an organization from reporting a short position that they're not actually short on? You know what I mean? It seems like sometimes they want to report shorts as high and other times they don't. And it's just like, I don't know. If the SEC did their job, my first thing as commissioner, I would actually put in a thing saying you will report your longs and your shorts equally on your forms. And if you don't do it correctly, I would set it up with Congress, but you're gonna get fined, and then we're gonna take your license away. Hell, if you don't file your taxes correctly, you get, dragged to prison. These dudes are misreporting their positions on their everything. It's just crazy, man. It's just fucking. It's gotten me to the point where I don't even talk professionally about it anymore because it's such a freaking clown show now.
Day, but I don't know if that ever passed. I don't even remember what rule that was.
It's the 13F2 form. And what happens is they want people to report their short positions if they have $10 million or more on the short, right? That is still, they actually extended the comments period on that. It was already supposed to be passed. They extended the comments period on it.
Yeah, of course, because I'm sure the shorts are holding that up. And if they don't extend the comment period and then they're forced to report, we're going to see millions upon millions upon millions of shorts that are reported. And it's going to be shocking, I think.
You know what makes that like not even necessary? Direct registration of shares. If you log the float, none of that's necessary. The SEC is basically taken out of the equation, and you put all the legal events and all the legal evidence in the hands of Adam Aaron directly, and the game's over. But I still think there's a dividend coming up. I really do. I think this lawsuit being settled, which again everybody attacked us for talking about class actions, 2 weeks before AMC decided to settle on a class action lawsuit, and guess what? The stock didn't get delisted. Clowns, man.
Yeah, that was actually perfect timing to prove to everybody
Yeah.
that moving forward, should something else like that happen, nothing is going to happen to the stock. I think another way to avoid this mess moving forward is if the SEC does the same rule as some Asian country. I don't remember if it was South Korea or I don't remember what country it was, but at 5% of the SI, whoever the trader is that places the trade that takes it over 5% goes to jail. I don't understand why we don't do that. This will end everything.
It's everybody's got their hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody has their hands in the cookie jar. Congress, the market makers, the SEC, everyone. So it's absolutely crazy. Who is not implicated in this, and who is not corrupt in this? I think that's the question to ask. The only thing I can think of is retail. The only money in the market right now that is not over leveraged is retail. That's it. If anything, they owe us money for shares that they're taking the loan that they're not paying us for. So they owe us even more money. I'll tell you what, I don't care what anybody says anymore about, no, don't do protests. Somebody's going to ruin it. This is going to end up on the streets. It's going to end up with people doing what's happening in China right now, rushing the banks because they're not allowing anybody to get their money out. I mean, hell, look at the crypto lenders right now. Most people's cryptos accounts are suspended still. Voyager went and had a stock and a crypto squeeze, and you still can't get your money out of there. Their VGX crypto went from 11 cents to $1.07, and their stock went from $1.90 to $11.70, and you still can't get your money out of Voyager. It's crazy.
A hedge fund, are they still missing?
As far as I know,
Every time I feel like every time I wake up in the morning, there's some new news about some insanity taking place that is on or around Wall Street.
Well,
It's ridiculous.
the thing is globalism has caused a huge compromise in America's economy and market. They have intertwined way too deep with the CCP in securities, in business dealings, and in foreign military exercises. So now all these hedge funds and all these banks that were making money hand over fist in Chinese assets realized, oh, wait a minute, China was actually just robbing us blind while they were building paper mache buildings. Now we're stuck with the bill. And they've been doing it for years. And I'll say right now, Trump tried to stop it. Trump came out and said he was the first person to make 13952 executive order, which restricted Chinese collateral to be used in the U.S. stock market. Then he started trying to delist securities because he saw what was going on. It's crazy that it's still happening today. Somebody in the world owes trillions and trillions of dollars into the global economy, and they're just trying to figure out who's going to get stuck with the bill. That's all that's going on right now. It's a big game of who's going to be left behind. So, Sugar, you can just talk, man.
You know what you just said with the protest and all that. Look around the world. What's happening? Like whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's Netherlands. What happened? There was a protest in India that lasted for 1 year. It started 2 years ago, and the government of India passed a laws against the farmers of India. To benefit the 1%. The richest people of India and the richest people of India and the whole whatever you guys want us, but just please go to your home. They didn't even throw one stone. and they got that thing done. And people say, and here, but that's the thing, we people are very comfortable with social media. Let's tag SCC, let's tag the same guy, Gary Gensler, who's been robbing us. Right? They don't care. For them, the only thing green is money. They only care about money, man. And the sooner people realize this, that they're letting these people run their country and their lives, the better off we will. Or we can just wait, 5-10 more years when it'll be too late to do anything. So people need to wake up, and they need to do, you know it doesn't have to be violent. I know people say, oh, it will get violent. Anything can get violent, but just because something will happen, or we can't just sit back and I'm ready to park my truck for a week, even 2 weeks. I know I lose quite a bit of money. I got family, I got bills too, but I'm ready to do that and
Bro,
go there, sit in front of stock exchange for a week, for 4 days, whatever it takes, on a hunger strike, peaceful hunger strike. I will not even raise a stone. But how many people you think will join me?
I don't know about the hunger strike, man. That's pushing it a little bit for me because I gotta eat. I'm a big boy, but I'll tell you what, man. There's a thing called synchronicity, and it's when multiple different like items sync unexpectedly around the world, just all at once. And I'll tell you what's going to happen with the ape community, with everything going on. All of a sudden, one day, people are just going to start converging on the SEC building. There will just be people starting to show up, people talking on the internet, on YouTube. It will just happen, and it's coming very, very soon. I see that if you could measure irritation off of comments through the ape community online, we would be hitting maximum output coming up here in the next few weeks. So if we have a positive earnings call and we see the price go down, people are just going to say fuck it, and people are going to start walking on these institutions. So
Just imagine, we don't need 5.
What location would be the location of choice for maximum efficiency of the protest, the best outcome? Who would you protest?
I have that answer, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I love this conversation because I think we could do really brilliant things by standing in front of the SEC in New York City for two reasons. The cops in New York City will not do anything. You can get away, obviously, with murder in that place. Of course, we don't want to ever, get violent or anything. And that's, of course, just peaceful protesting. And secondly, we will get so much attention in New York from other groups as well. And I think that could be dangerous and it could be good. But when Sugar said, or somebody, or was it you, Spence, that really nobody knows what's going on, it is pertinent that we strike before any crisis happens. Because once there's a crisis and we protest, it'll be reactionary instead of precautionary. Like if we go out there and we say, this is happening with AMC, this is happening with GME, this is happening with the hedge funds and the banks and the too bigs to fail and the Homeland Citadel and, all of that, people will pay attention. And then when it happens, even more people will get pissed because you should have one, but they're not going to do anything about it. Oh, and by the way, you could smoke all the weed you want. Oh, and by the way, you could smoke all the weed you want anywhere in New York City. No one cares anymore. So
I mean, you guys are born here, man. I had to study and everything. Not based on the, for 1% that run the entire country. It was these people are taking everything away from us right in front of our eyes. Everybody was talking about that cat system for 4 months. Oh, this will happen. What they did, they pushed it. Tomorrow it'll be something else. It'll always be something else because they know people will not come on the streets. And believe me, the only place change happens, it's the streets. Twitter will not change shit for you.
I also want to point out, you guys, that, and I've been doing a lot of look-see, having a good close look at this. So last week was the first time I ever heard the word global recession being used. And I thought, what the hell is a global recession? Anything global when it comes to recession is a depression. I mean, this is what I've learned in Economics 101. So I start to do a little poking around the internet, and I see that Investopedia gave this some attention at the end of 2021. Like its first entry on global recession was at the end of 2021. And I think to myself, wow, were they planning this? Like, I'm starting to think like maybe a conspiracy theorist here because it's all too strange for me. So whenever you hear global recession, don't believe it. They're talking about a depression, and they won't say it because people will get ideas of 1929. They'll bum rush the banks, and this country will fall flat on its face. But know that it is a very distinct possibility, in my opinion. That something bad, real bad, is going to happen soon. And I think we have to get ahead of the game. But
and all that stuff. And now they're calling me every day, DMing me every day. Well, what happened to my 401k, man? I'm like, you're dumb. That's what happened to your 401k. You didn't listen. You didn't do anything. You just walked around like everything was awesome and Bubble had for the last 16 months. They said the writing was on the wall, man.
And I think I complained to you prior, Spence, that my friend, my old neighbor, the floor trader on the NYSE, blaming everybody and their mother except him.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, are you crazy? Like either he knows and he's not admitting it, or he is just as clueless as everyone else. And I would think that he's just as clueless. How crazy is that?
Well, if you guys are up and not talking, please stay muted. If you want to talk, then unmute and talk just to keep the call clean. But real quick, funny enough, Fox Business just posted U.S. housing markets underproduction crisis getting worse. So the housing market, they're starting to put out the stuff in the news, the panic stuff. You know what I mean? They weren't doing it when we were all talking about it 6-7 months ago because they wanted people to get stuck in at the bottom. Now they're spreading panic and fear to get people to sell at the bottom. And I'm telling everybody I know, max out your 401k. If you're going to buy a house, wait another 6 months. Interest rates are going to go up. Housing prices are going to collapse. You're going to get something $30,000, $40,000 less. You can always refinance a year or two down the road back from 7% or whatever back down to 3%. So I'm actually waiting 6 months to even start my build. But my builder called me and said, hey, man, I'm having all these people back out on these builds, so we can probably get to yours. And I said, I'll let you know when I think material prices have come down enough to start my build. So I'm personally excited because I've set myself up to capitalize on this position. So,
hey, Spence, what did Fox say again?
Let me pull it back up. I already forgot.
Because I think that if there's less housing,
there's people. Okay, hold on. They moved the article. Now they got Elon Musk up here again. housing. Where'd it go? There it is. Housing markets under production crisis getting worse. New analysis finds. So there's underproduction because people can't afford to buy homes, but there's not enough homes for people to live in, right?
So
So
that's going to force the prices up in the near term, I think.
I don't think so. I think it's the worst possible situation. If people can't afford homes to buy that are already built, then they would look at building homes. If building homes is too expensive, then they can't get anything. So the market is overinflated for anyone to be buying or building. That's a horrible thing. That means the market is probably going to collapse instead of just draw back down, right?
It's interesting that I saw today a whole bunch of quick move-ins in the communities that I'm looking at that I hadn't seen in the past 2 years.
This is the last push because the Fed's talking about doing 100 basis points on the next rate hike. Interest rates are going to go through the roof. There is extremely high demand. There's not enough supply, but the problem is the cost, the inflationary cost of the homes. If you buy a home right now, you risk losing $30,000-$40,000. You risk losing 20% on the value of the home. So it's just wild.
What do you guys, what you and PJ just said, the community, I build my home, I'm moving in my house. They finally built it, and
nice.
My house is closed. I wanted to, show you, I'll send you pictures when I'm moving next week. Finally, after 19 months, it took them 19 months to build my home. But the community I built my home, they were like, the lady, she was telling me, she was like, people are even backing from the houses that like that, the contract money you gave, like 15-20,000. She was like, people are backing off even from that money because they don't want to build the house, and with the interest rate is almost 7%. And what you guys were saying, housing market, these people are still pumping the stock market and everything because still they elections, because BlackRock and all these people, they're just pumping in because they are all, government helps them, they help the government. And but if you see on the grassroots, if the real estate, like where we are going, if I can see it, which way our country is going and which way these people look. Bill Gates and BlackRock, they're buying all the farmland, they're buying all the houses. Why are they doing that? There's got to be reason, because these people want to control everything in our country.
Corner in the market. They want everybody to rent. They don't want anybody to own. The funny thing is, and this is my prediction on housing, I think it's going to collapse very quickly all at once, and then you're going to see a rush back into the market to buy up these. Once it crashes, there's going to be material prices are going to come down. Supply chain woes are going to start easing because people quit building all at once. But all these houses that have been taken off the market or reduced in price, you're going to see a flood of people immediately back into the market to buy these homes up. This crash in this recession is all orchestrated. It is fabricated. This all could have been prevented very, very easily. And part of how they could have prevented it was not waiving the collateral requirements on January 27th for AMC and GME. People would have cashed out. They would have took their squeeze money and they would have went into their local economies and stimulated everything. And this wouldn't be happening right now. But there's definitely a global reset happening, you guys. If you can't see it, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist on that, but they are trying to reset and shift the paradigm from the type of society we were living in to something else. And I feel like we're going back closer to the 90s types of lifestyle lately. So what's up, Pierre? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I was just gonna second what you and Sherry were saying. I posted on the Jumbotron about how people are canceling, buying homes, and also that supply is actually going up for homes. Like home supply is up, so less people are buying, and there's more homes. Like I moved to my house. I moved in like 2, 3 weeks ago, And I'm already seeing like a few homes for sale. So I guess people just, like I said, they're canceling. And I'm here in Austin, Texas, so it's where it's supposed to, like, the market's hot right now.
The market's super hot in Albuquerque and New Mexico because we have a ton of Californians moving here. I literally every time I go out, I bump into somebody from California now, and our complex has been loaded up with people from there. So the housing market took a really super sharp supply curve issue where there was tons of demand, but now it's starting to trickle back off because a lot of the people coming from California are going, maybe I don't want to live in Albuquerque. I think I made a mistake. But there's houses popping back up on the market. They're coming back up for cheaper. And the builders I'm talking to are all saying, yeah, we got people that are starting to back out of their builds. So for me, it's a perfect opportunity. It sucks for other people. And that's just, I guess, the way it goes. You know, it's the way of the world. So Michigan too. I'm getting ready to sell my house in Michigan. In that little area, the demand is still extremely huge because there's not enough houses in that area just for the people who live there. But a lot of inner city people who are fleeing the inner city oppression from COVID want to live in rural areas now. So my house is going to sell pretty quick. So I'll be pretty happy with that.
Speaking of Michigan, I'm in northern Michigan right now on vacation. Hey, Spence, I just want to tell you real quick, and then I'm going to drop down. I got to go cook dinner. Just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me. I know I've talked to you in DMs quite a bit. I finally did get switched over from Webull to Fidelity.
Good.
So, yeah. So it was a long time coming. And honestly, I just want to say thank you. And I love everything that you do. And I love what Froggy does. And that sucks what happened to him. And hopefully he comes back on soon. But I just want to say thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. And where you at, Traverse City or something?
Just north of there, up and around Petoskey.
Nice, man. You're there the perfect time of the year, dude.
Yeah, it's a great time. We come up every year.
Nice.
So
enjoy your vacation. I appreciate your kind words.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, what happened to Froggy?
Oh, just to make it real quick, and we're not going to get back into the whole roundabout. The Ape Radio guys, the Gen thing, bunch of the YouTubers all decided to come after Froggy, mainly, I think, because I was speaking on his show, but they also didn't like that we were talking DRS, which, exposes all these YouTubers who say, no, DRS is bad. If you don't want to DRS your shares, that's your opinion and your choice. But people who are saying DRS are bad are just frauds. They're just complete frauds. So they kind of came after him in a group. And I kind of think they did it to try to get after me because you know how I like to challenge these guys who come out and put out a bunch of hopium and fake news and clickbait and then get paid for it off the backs of the community members. When they're telling everybody to buy puts and hedge your position, and then they turn around and, oh, by the way, I'm long on the stock now. So, it's just like the other day, and I like Astro. I think he's funny. I think he's a good guy. Nothing bad about him. But to come out and say that if Q2 doesn't go your way, you're leaving the play, and then take heat and then say, no, I was just trolling everybody. Come on, man. It's time to be adults on this. These YouTubers have made enough money off the backs of the community. They've made enough money on their revenues from their commercial ads and whatnot, their little ball shaver promos. It's time to get real. The way this ends is the float gets direct registered. That evidence goes to Adam Aaron. He goes, SEC, FINRA, DTC, you guys have created more shares than we legally issued as a company. We are filing a lawsuit. That's how it ends. It's that simple. I'm telling you, the next time they put out computer share information in an AMC document, everybody is going to be very surprised. Very surprised.
I'm sorry that happened with Froggy, and I don't understand the problem with DRS since all the GME folks are doing it and they're proving that it works in the price of the GME. So why would the AMC YouTubers speak out against the DRS is beyond me. It's not logical.
The FUD's already been busted.
Because
the entire GME community has already busted the FUD.
PJ, because they don't want this thing to end. That's because they will lose the Yeah, they if this community if it not would have been for our community, you think they would get all the views and make all the money? They're using our using our people, are using our community, fill their own pockets while telling other people not what they can do and what they can do, which call they can go, which calls they not go. And this, I said this 6 months ago too. Like there are under people are doing like calls, private calls, to control everything in our community, and that's what's sad. That they if suspense comes with something, they will gang up on him. You know, all these people. When Tara came out with something, you know, you didn't want to do BSTX T0, that's fine. And you know what happened back in October when we were all here, you know, sitting and talking. And now they're doing the same thing.
Sugar, you're breaking up, buddy.
Somebody speaks or somebody.
Hold on. I'm going to bring him back up. Sugar, you were breaking up really bad. I'm going to try to bring you back up.
Hey, you guys, I posted to the Nest, those JP Morgan folks that were robbing people for years said that they were so focused on making money they didn't realize they were robbing people. Do you believe this?
I'm so sorry. I'm going to dry my tears with $1,000 bills while I rob. Hey, what's up, Sugar? You back?
I am back.
Yeah, there you go. You were breaking up really
I'm sorry,
bad.
man. It's all Citadel's fault. You know, it's never my fault. So, but PJ, what I was saying is, like, you know, these, God forbid we make money and build our lives. They don't want that. What will they do with their lives if the community moves on?
Here's what's funny. I don't care how many times you've been on TV or who you think you are or what you did. Dude, I've been on TV before too. I've been in really high important situations with the government. Man, good for the community and whatever. But if you come into my DMs and tell me what I should and should not be saying, I'm going to pimp slap you. I am a grown ass man. I don't care who you're friends with or what channel you've been on. Do not come into my DMs and tell me what I can and cannot say. I don't work for you. You ain't my dad. You ain't my mom. You definitely ain't my wife. I don't have one because I'm single. But anyways, yeah, it's just silly at this point, man. If you disagree with somebody, take your disagreement back to your own space call and bitch about it and whatever. But man, coming in and going into DMs and backstabbing people and trying to get people canceled. They tried to cancel me this week. This is the third time people tried to cancel me. I lose 30 followers and then they end up gaining 1,000 within the month. So it don't even matter. But back on the protest thing. So if a protest did happen at the SEC in New York, you said, PJ, you do not need any type of permit for this? Oh, PJ's out making another drink or something.
No, I was actually tweeting Jackson Hunter's retweet about the failures.
Oh, nice.
So you probably you could get a permit and then they run the risk of saying no, or you can, in my opinion, just have an impromptu. I mean, how does everybody else do it? They're not getting permits,
right?
I mean, no, I would be surprised if BLM or some other group had permits. Well, so I would say just a bunch of people standing in front of the SEC. If the cops come and say move along, you move a couple of steps. Or, I mean, not being disrespectful, but you have a right to be there. It's a government office.
I'll tell you what.
Breach it, but
we're untouchable in a protest, and I'll tell you why. We're white, black, brown, Asian, Hispanic, gay, straight, left, right. We're fucking everything. They can't touch us. Everybody in this community, this is the most diverse community in the world and the most intelligent and an organized community in the world. And a proper protest at the SEC building in New York would make massive, massive waves like nobody's ever seen before.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I think, in 2008, they were moved from the SEC into Zuccotti Park, like 2 blocks away. And then it turned into this violent kind of weird kind of thing, and some bad things happened, and then they were dispersed at the end. I'm not saying to go out there and camp, but why can't we go, for 5 hours, 6 hours a day, and then show up every day?
I'm game.
Something, and I'm going up there the second week in August. So if anybody wants to join me, I'll be there for 3 days, but not at the SEC, of course, unless, of course, something's going on, and then I'll be happy to put my food plans on hold. Go stand in front of the SEC.
What's up, Benny? How you doing, man?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, the protesting.
The SEC right now, absolute criminals.
I think for everything, the key is the DRS. And I got identified and all that. There's nothing better, dude, than getting that letter in the mail with AMC's logo and my name in the same letterhead.
Yeah.
Even when AMC directly took it out of my bank, I thought it was because when I went to the movies, but I'm like, I didn't spend a couple thousand on the movies, and I'm like, oh, that's the shares. They must have took it out. And sure enough,
I did the same thing.
Dude, I was wigging out. But
I was like, why did AMC take $500 from me? When you buy shares from Computer Share, for everybody to know, for AMC, you're going to have a debit in your bank account that says AMC, but it's really Computer Share buying your shares. So
I moved my GameStop because of the split. Everybody's like arguing about it, like, well, what about this and that? And basically, from my point of view of what I'm hearing is they're going to go to the DRS first, and then they're going to go to the platform. So what if they don't have your shares? What are they going to do? You're basically, I guess, can get a form of FTD, right? Like fail to deliver type shit.
Well, think of this. Say AMC squeezes and it's $300 a share and your broker goes insolvent. Suddenly you can't sell your shares, shut down. With Computer Share, if you go to sell, they are going to choose between multiple brokers to make your sale, right? Yeah. You actually have a better chance of successfully selling your shares with Computer Share than you do just some random broker. Computer Share will not go insolvent. They're cash only, right? Yeah. They're not the broker. They go out to multiple brokers to place those trades. But if you're with TD Ameritrade, just like a couple weeks ago, they literally restricted the buying of call options on Redbox, and now Redbox is down under $5. They're still doing it. The CEO of Apex Clearing in the GameStop report from Congress said, yes, January 28th will happen again. I mean, I just don't know how much more clear you need to write it out or spell it out for people to show them that direct registration, at first, it takes a little bit of effort to figure out how to do it. But there's content out there to help you. And once you do it, you completely understand it. And most people actually end up liking it better. So what's up, Stacks?
Hey, what's up, Spence? Great to have you back.
Yeah, man. I just had to take a little break, spend some time with the kids. So
That's what's up. What's up, Sugar Kush? What's up? share for about 2 months now, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. I want to just run through my thoughts, and then at the end of you guys could ask questions or whatever. So the easiest way to set up computer share is to call your broker and tell them that you want to transfer X amount of your AMC and GME shares to computer share. The fastest way to get your shares into computer share is to do a partial transfer. It usually takes 5 to 7 business days. I transferred 90% of my AMC shares from TD Ameritrade, a partial transfer, over to computer share. And once they got there 6 days later, I started the transfer of my GME shares. Try to do this early in the morning so you don't waste a day. If you do it in the afternoon, the transfer will start the next business day. I also had shares with Robinhood, who doesn't allow you to DRS your shares to computer share, which supports my opinion that they don't want us in computer share. So I'm on the right path. So I had to transfer my AMC and GME that I had in Robinhood to TD Ameritrade, which took about 5 to 7 business days. I also transferred my HYMC out of Robinhood to TD because I don't trust them and they're an $8 stock, probably going out of business. So anyway, when my shares got to TD Ameritrade 6 days later, I partially transferred my AMC shares to computer share, and when they got there, I partially transferred my GME there as well. There are billions of synthetic shares out there. My opinion, not financial advice, but at least 20 billion. And that's me giving a low ball number. So the second you transfer your shares to computer share, whether you have synthetic shares or not, they are all automatically become real shares. And they are now only in your name, and you get a letter in the mail 7 to 10 days later proving that the shares are only belong to you, proving that the shares are only belong to you. They do have the call to get through in under 5 minutes. There has been an increase in people transferring their shares there the last week or so. I know this because I'm always asking them questions. So the wait time has increased slightly. So people are getting smarter. So what happens when enough people put the majority of their shares in computer share? It might be too late for you to secure your shares with computer share if you wait contemplating for personally feel better with my there because they are real synthetics. They're always trying to screw us somehow. I don't think they can, but who knows? So different sale prices. So the max price per share is $214,748.36 for AMC and GME, but the total amount for each order is $1 million for AMC and 9.9 million for GME. So you could place an order selling 4 shares of AMC for $214,748, which comes out to just under $1 million. You can strategically place all kinds of limit orders at any price under that $214,748 per share, under the $1 million order limit. I currently have 277 30-day limit orders in play. I mostly spread out for the higher numbers and try to make each order under $1 million. You can play it however you want. Most broker apps don't allow you to set limits higher than 100 per share. So this was awesome for me. Every day I put in 20 or 30 new orders because when market closes, I get texts and emails from ComputerShare showing me that some of my 30-day limit orders have now expired because I've been placing orders for over a month now. So once your order hits that sale price, it is sold and you have your bank account connected for ACH transactions. You get your money in 2 days. I recommend that. If not, they send you a check which can take up to 7 days. The fee that ComputerShare charges for each transaction is $25.12 a share, which is nothing considering we'll probably lose way more with our current brokers with payment for order flow and trusting them to direct our orders. I was around for the GameStop run-up in January 2021, and I remember clearly being knocked off my broker apps on my cell phone. I remember calling friends, same thing. I had to log into a computer anyway to sell my 15 shares of GME. I set a limit order for 350. I saw it going up fast, tried to change it to 450, but it sold too fast. So we all know TD, Robinhood, Fidelity, E-Trade, etc. They all took away the buy button. Well, you don't have to worry about that with ComputerShare. I even asked one of the reps about this scenario and what happened back then, and he confirmed it and said that's why a lot of GME shareholders went with ComputerShare. So that's what I meant earlier when I said it could be a good thing for us that ComputerShare is technically not a broker because they won't take away the buy button. They want to make their $25.12 a share profit on every order. So you don't have to wait for your letter proving the shares are yours with your new account number. After about 6 business days, your shares will disappear from your broker app. That means they are in ComputerShare. You can go to computershare.com, go to register, put all your info in, your social, your name, your address, create a username, password. It takes 5 minutes. Then you will be in and see your account number and your shares. I suggest you immediately put in your bank account number for your ACS transactions because that takes another 6 business days. You can save a few days' time this way instead of waiting for the letter to come. I'm very familiar with this process because I've done it for all my loved ones, my wife, my sister. If anyone has any questions, I'm here to help as best as I can.
Man, well said, dude. Like that was the best DRS ComputerShare continuous talking point I've heard in a long time. Thank you for that. You brought something up that was super interesting to me. One, the increase in the number of people direct registering is true because I'm getting DMs saying TD Ameritrade is getting flooded with requests to get people to DRS their AMC and GME shares. And they said there's actually, as far as last week, there was a little waiting period to get it all caught up. Fidelity now actually, you can go into Fidelity chat and have them DRS your shares through the chat. When you call them, when you call Fidelity, one of the recorded pre-message things is, oh, by the way, if you want to direct register your shares with ComputerShare, you can now do it through the Fidelity chat where you'll get a representative online there because they're being flooded with people wanting to DRS their shares. So the message is getting out there. Why these people would keep fudding it, you're either A, they're ignorant on the topic and they don't know what they're talking about. B, they're wrong and they don't want to admit they're wrong. Or C, they work for the freaking hedgies, man. I just emailed investor relations Meriwether and asked them if they were capable of updating us on the number of investors that are direct registered and how many shares are registered. We'll see what they say. I know ComputerShare can't tell me that just as an individual, but the company can put that information out. As I think Swing is GME, is the company updating shareholders on the current amount of direct registrations, or is somebody just keeping like an unofficial list? He might be busy with the kids. Either way, go ahead, Sugar.
You can hear me?
I can't hear you, Swing.
Can you hear me now? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the answer is both. So they're in the quarterly filing, just like GME or just like AMC, GME is putting both the number of registered shareholders as well as the number of shares. Separately from that, there's people on Reddit estimating. Basically, they're using averages because now they have, I haven't looked at recently, but last I looked, I want to say it's like 166,000 people have direct registered shares to GME. And so they have a huge data set. And so using that and then knowing the account numbers, they're not individual, they don't go up one by one. It's, I want to say base 10 or base 11. Anyway, so maybe have hacked the code to know basically every time someone gets a new number with computer share, that it basically goes up by 10 or goes up by 11 rather than by 10 or something like that, so that there's a check digit in the system, blah blah blah. All that being said, they're basically based off of the registration number, the number, when people send in their new confirmations from computer share, they're able to estimate then, okay, based off of our 166,000 data set, and we know and they're able to check that against the quarterly filings, roughly what the average number of DRS shares are per person. And so when people turn in those new numbers to Reddit, they take those numbers to make estimations as it goes on as well.
So you're saying the account number is the number that's being used to figure out how many people are registered or how many shares there are?
Well, both. So they're doing it. They're using the account number because they know basically what the system is as far as what's generating the account number. It goes up by 11. So rather than you having a sequential number, the next person who gets a account number, it's 11 digits higher than the previous person. So using that, they're able to know how many accounts there are as of whenever someone gets their letter, and then using averages, saying, okay, now we have 167,000 rather than 166,000 people. We know that up to this point, the average has been, 75, 80 shares per person, whatever it is. And
just for example, say my account number was 150,000.
So that means roughly, easy math, about 15,000 people have. It's not exactly,
okay,
but
they put out in the GameStop, or not the GameStop, geez. They put out in the one AMC annual shareholder report that there was 49,580 people who have direct registered. So
yeah, so that just means people had after you.
Oh, okay.
And maybe I'm a little off. There's a process, basically. I'm not 100% on the process that's being used, but basically someone has hacked what the it's base 11. I remember that from looking at it, and I tried to understand how it's being created, but basically somewhere in that number there's a check digit that helps tell them that's a legit number, just like the same way that credit cards have check digits in them too. But anyway, so it goes up non-sequentially, but somewhat sequentially, and based off of that, they can estimate based off of when someone gets their letter. They know how many more people since the last time someone posted a letter. How many more people have registered, and then use the averages that everyone has posted to guesstimate, and then they check that data against the quarterly filings. And last quarterly, I think they were within 100,000 share estimate or something like that. So pretty good estimate.
Here's the real thing that I noticed. We really started pushing, and I went in and confirmed with everybody that I wanted to start pushing DRS a while ago because I knew it was going to bring a bunch of heat to people I'm close with. But we started pushing this back at the beginning of May. Since May, the AMC stock price has done nothing but go up. And I have a theory. I think every single share that is DRS'd, when you DRS a share, it takes 3 to 5 synthetic shares off the market immediately. Not necessarily that they were covered, but that base share isn't there to create synthetics out of. It takes 3 to 5 shares off the market, which reduces reduces the dilution from the synthetics on the stock price.
Hey man, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Just one question, quick question. If I open a computer share account and I want to buy directly, let's say AMC or GME, uh, is it different the price there? I mean, like what would you be paying on them uh, in order to buy shares there without having to have your shares from let's say from my brokerage sent over. Let's say I just want to open one and buy shares directly through computer shares. I mean, what's the cost basis on that?
So you have to make a minimum purchase of $25, right? That's the minimum purchase you have to make.
Right.
The fees, and let me bring the website up. The fees to purchase are pretty minimal. Computer share, I'll read them off directly to you. It's basically like how the old brokers used to work, where they make a little bit of a commission off of processing your order. Make a stock purchase. I'm getting right to it. Come on, computer, let's go.
I understand that you have like a video layout on YouTube probably talking about all this, because I haven't checked it out yet and I would love to do that.
Here's the online investment fees. One-time investment is $5. So your total investment, if you buy 20 shares, you're going to get charged $5, and then you're going to get a 5 cents per share processing fee, right?
Okay.
So it's basically a commission to buy your shares is all it is. If you're doing a recurring purchase where you have it set up to automatically buy every month, then it's only $2.50 per order with the 5 cent share processing fee. So
that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna try that, man, because I was curious in knowing that, because since it's gonna take time, let's say for me to transfer it, maybe I could just start and make a few purchases there instead of me buying it through Webull or whatnot. Buy directly from them while I transfer everything over there. Little by little, I guess.
So if you're going to transfer shares, this is what I would recommend. Transfer your shares first and let that clear and be done, so you get your account set up and you get your account number. Then you can go in, once you have access to your account, and make a stock purchase. So either transfer your shares first, or go to computer share and click the make a stock. Right on the front page, there's 5 options. It'll be login, employee login, investor, visit quick access, or make a stock purchase. You click make a stock purchase. Then you type in the search bar AMC. Click on the icon. It gives you the fees and the minimum amounts required. You click invest now. And then you go in and you start filling out your account information. So either make your purchase directly from computer share first and wait for your account to be set up, or transfer first and wait for your account to be set up. They can merge accounts later on, but it's kind of a little bit of a pain. It takes time on the phone. So
it's not a bad idea. Let's say if I buy directly. Let's say if I buy 25 shares of AMC, let's say for instance, once it's in there, it's good to go, and then I could just transfer the shares that I have from let's say Webull to computer shares, and just wait the period of what, 6 to 5 business days. Is that right understood?
Yeah, I would tell you that if you're going to buy shares first, wait till you get your letter in the mail that gives you your account number, then go and try to transfer to DRS from your broker. I will tell you, Webull will probably charge you for it, and they'll probably give you a bunch of shit to DRS them. If they do, I recommend transferring from Webull to Fidelity. Then you can DRS from Fidelity, but it's not going to hurt for you to have some shares in Fidelity and some shares in computer share. Keep a fluid, multiple option platform. But I'm going to go ahead and just pretty much put all mine. I'm going to keep. I was only going to do 20%, but I think I'm just going to keep 20% in Fidelity and put 80% in computer share now.
Right. All right. Well, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no problem. No
I
problem.
did 90% of mine. I got like 220 in TD. I got like 10 in public, and I left like maybe 10 in Robin Hood.
Well, that's good in case there's a lawsuit. That's for sure.
Exactly.
That. What if I miss this? We are not going to have a squeeze until we prove there's synthetics out there and make these fuckers cover, man. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. Like, I don't think anything is going to really happen for what we're thinking unless we literally prove there's synthetics out there by logging the flow. And I think the GME community knows that. I think they've known it for a long time.
Yeah, and like I said, if you do a partial share, it gets there a little faster. That's 6 days. Take a little longer.
That's interesting.
That's what I did with all of them, pretty much. So the partial transfer always gets there a little faster. So let's say, you've got 50 shares on TD. Maybe you want to transfer 40 of them and put it in as a partial transfer. You're pretty much going to get them in 6 days, and then you could save some. Register. Once your shares disappear off TD, wait another 6 days for that.
To people like other people. So, just if you have ideas, or, just share with community, like what you just said today was really good and clear. And what Span Swing, what you guys are doing, don't stop doing this. It doesn't matter what he or she say, keep educating people, keep providing knowledge. Sooner or later, everybody will wake up. And I agree with you. I think, as long as we can even log at least 40% of the float, there'll be less shares. I mean, if I for them to do all the nonsense they've been doing for 18 months. So
I think they need a base share to lend out multiple times. They can't lend a share if it never existed in the first place. They're not just creating synthetics, they're creating clones, and they need the base share to do it. That's why I think the price has been going up consistently with us pushing this DRS method. And you can see at certain times in the chart when we're hosting space calls and having hundreds of people in here who decide to go out and DRS, you can see major movements in price action. I really think this is it. I think every share that's DRS is taken off the market, and the 2 or 3 synthetics that were created on that share are now erased. And the dilution on the market price is gone, and the price goes up. I really think this is it. And anyways, everybody always wanted to talk about diamond handing. Computer share and direct registration is literally like the ultimate form of diamond handing. That's just literally what it is. So it's anybody who wants to continue spreading FUD. Like I said, a lot of these famous YouTubers who are making a ton of money off the community, they want to come out and consistently say, no, I'm not going to DRS. It's bad. I don't like it, whatever. But they want to push bullshit like 14032 executive orders and SEC rules and lose tinfoil hat conspiracy theories and all this bullshit that they've been wrong about from day one. Every time a big YouTuber comes out with the catalysts, they're always wrong. At the end of it, they're always wrong. The only thing that we have not tried that has been fudded since day one is computer share. And I'll tell you, there's a correlation with the amount of FUD generated to the effectiveness of the action taken. DRS is getting fudded like crazy, because everyone knows it'll be the single most effective action retail can take in this play. So
I agree 100% with that. The more I what is this guy talking about? That is paid by Citadel. They're completely complacent. They're not doing nothing. So that made me push the button for the mic. I got on and I started talking about DRS and is the about it. Rocket was like, "Who are you?" And he just kicked me right out. Haven't really spoken much since then.
see, that's crazy. That's to think to boot somebody for talking about a new good idea that's effective. And if you don't know, you don't know, and just say, I don't know about it, but we can talk about it. But to boot people because it's not what you want to hear, I mean, that's your space call. You have the right to do so, whatever. But to say the SEC is going to do anything, to say the SEC and Gary Gensler are actually going to do something, that's just fucking foolish, man. That dude is paid and bought for. He literally holds the Ken Griffin folds his pocket out, and Gary Gensler holds it like a prison bitch when they walk around together. That's the SEC is an absolute failure of an organization. And you know what's funny? When they fine people, when the SEC, like they just fined Bank of America $225 million, you know where that money goes? It goes to the U.S. Treasury, which then probably gets distributed out to the Kennedy Center or some weird fucking institution or some weird government grant, and that money flows. It's such a scam. If the SEC kept the money they fine these institutions for, the SEC would be a powerhouse organization. It's fucking crazy, man. Anyways, man, Stacks, thanks for coming up and saying what you said. It was such a good stretch. The last speaker, then I'm going to sign off and go.
Thanks for taking my call. Hey, on the DRS situation, do they provide active training like TDA, or do you have to call in to place trades?
No, you, so just to start, what you would do if you don't have an account and you want to start buying directly from ComputerShare. So
honestly, the easiest way is just to transfer
Yeah,
your shares. And
that's what I'm going to do. And I mean, I have a lot, and I have like, I can't even tell you how many different positions, but have been, experience the complete fuckery on all of the positions. So I want to transfer everything, and I've been trading for 20 to 25 years.
I would start if you have Fidelity.
I have TD Ameritrade.
I would start with TD Ameritrade. They might tell you that it's going to take some time because they've been over. They've been flooded with requests. Apparently, I think it's because TD probably doesn't actually have the share.
and they'll walk you through it on the phone, or it's not that hard to figure out. But you go to transfer. You confirm it, you hit the button, and then that's it. You don't even have to call nobody. You could call them though, but you could do it.
Account, so, and AMC and GME are in the other two non-IRAs, so I guess I'll just start there.
There you go.
Awesome.
Well, and I'm wondering now, you know, they just came out in the news and said certain funds and certain brokers and institutions are lending out shares to short from people's IRAs and 401ks.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's crazy. So your broker may be shorting your IRA with your own shares.
Well, that would make sense why, you know, my balance is basically the same today as it was when I got a windfall in 2001, 2002.
I'll tell you what, Stacy, I'm going to follow you. If you have any trouble with them,
okay,
just DM me, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
I've been helping a lot of other people. So at TD, like I said, they've been saying that they've been overloaded with transfers. And Fidelity is even set up now where you can just request it to be done in their chat because people don't want to talk on the phone. So,
okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay, carry on, folks. I'll still listen.
Right on.
Thank
You
you.
too. I'll help too if you need it.
See, this is community right here, man. This is what it's about. Breaking the FUD, DMing people for help, getting the message out. Share the word too, man. When you get done with computer share, if you have a good experience, share the word, share the message. Because I guarantee you, I'll call it now, pretty soon we're going to see news on direct registration and computer share for AMC in a report, or we're going to see somebody respond to my email talking about the total number, and it will correlate directly with the price increases that we have had this past, I'd say 60 days. So anyways, I'm going to go walk the dog and I'm going to go get some exercise and dinner and stuff. I want to thank everyone for coming into the call, man. I'm going to continue to try to do these. I might do a space call like maybe Sunday evening or something. I'm going to try to do an early morning market open, like 15, 30-minute call. And then I'm going to try to keep the market close calls to 30 minutes. Unless Terrible gets back on scene and starts doing calls herself, then I'll just attend her calls. So, which I hope she does, even though she's a bum and she's not in this call right now. So
hey, don't be calling my girl, man. We gon'
hey,
you know.
hey, well, she needs to show up or show out.
She will, man. But you know that this is the whole thing. Don't stop. You know, I understand. A lot of people get knowledge from this, you know, education. A lot of people, you know, look forward to these calls. Whatever you can do, whenever you can do, keep doing. And you know, I thank you for doing that.
Yeah, man, I will. I'll keep at it. I'm refreshed. I had some summertime with the kid. We went and seen the movies. We went and saw Minions. Good movie. I give it personally a 3 out of 5, but you know, I saw Thor right before I saw Minions, and Thor was hilarious. So anyways, thanks for coming, guys. Spread the word.
Thank you for coming.
We're going to get back on track.
Thank you for subscribing and
I'm
breaking me
super
over
excited for
1,000
Q2.
subs. That's really neat. It's really cool. I never even thought I'd be doing this to begin with. Got all your comments. Appreciate it. Got the poll done. 26 votes. Let's see what it says. Yes, we should protest in front of the SEC. I think it's going to happen anyways, you guys. This whole game, there is nothing legal about what's going on in the U.S. stock market right now. Everybody knows it, and we got to stop sitting here and getting robbed. I think direct registration is a very good way to push things forward and to show the world that the U.S. stock market, hedge funds, and brokers are manipulating companies to destroy them so they can be consolidated up into conglomerates like Amazon and such things like that. So if you could, please like and subscribe to the video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to start doing more of these calls and more of these live streams and spread the word about DRS and any new catalysts that are coming forward. Can't wait to go see Dragon Ball Super in theaters. So I'm freaking nerdgasming over it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Go to the movies, go to GameStop, support your local economies. We're going to win this. I have every faith in the world that we will. Froggy Sonics out.